Kamusta? Hello. Maligayang Pagdating. Welcome to Storytime. And my name is Miss Ani. I am with the Kodiak Public Library, and I'm doing Storytime from my house today. Why am I speaking another language? Maybe you understood what I said at the beginning of the video. If you speak Tagalog, then maybe you know that Kamusta is another word for hello, and Maligayang Pagdating is welcome. Well, the story that we're going to be reading today has a few Tagalog words in it, and if you live in Kodiak, Alaska, I'm sure you've heard some Tagalog because we have lots of the Filipino culture here, and not just the language and the people, but we have the food. And our book today is about some of the food from the Philippines. So, this book here, Cora Cooks Pancit, I chose because I was walking through the library and I really liked the illustrations, the pictures on the book. I like the little girl, and I also love pancit, so I thought, let me check it out and see what this is about. And if you didn't know, even though the library is closed right now, you can still get books and movies and songs and all kinds of things from the library still. So if you're not sure how to do that, just call us at the library and then we will help you so you can check out some of these books for home. Do you like pancit? I love it. What's your favorite food? This is one of my favorite foods. I've got lots though. So, Cora Cooks Pancit. Now, this is written by Dorina Lazo Gilmore, and she is part Filipino and part Italian. So, this is part of her Filipino heritage. The illustrations are by Christy Valiant, and she really likes red, and she really likes, I think, hippos and cooking. And so you're going to see red, and you're going to see hippos, and you're going to see cooking in this book, because those are the things she likes to draw. Let's see how we're going to do this. Cora loved the kitchen. She loved to drink in the smells of Mama's Filipino dishes. Do you see the little hippo in the corner? Cora's older sisters and brother often helped with the cooking. They got the grown-up jobs, like shredding the chicken, mixing the noodles in the pot. They sliced vegetables and rolled lumpia into tidy egg roll shapes. Cora was stuck with kid jobs like drawing pictures in the flour and licking the spoons. That was all well and good, but she longed to be a real cook. One day, Cora's three older sisters headed to the mall. Her brother darted outside with his ball glove. Now was her chance. Cora popped her head around the corner. "What are we making today, Mama?" Mama wiped her hands on the front of her red apron. She put her hands on her hips. "What would you like to make today?" asked Mama in her buttery voice. And there's Mama and Cora and a little hippo. What do you think she's going to want to make? Cora was surprised that Mama was letting her decide. She scrunched up her pug nose and began to think of all her favorite Filipino foods, dancing in her head. Lines of lumpia pranced in rows. Look at that delicious lumpia. Adobo chicken legs bebopped in time. Mmm. And she saw a large bowl of pancit. The thick noodles and vegetables curled and swirled in a dance party. Mmm. Will you teach me to make pancit? She asked. Of course, said Mama. Would you like to wear my red apron? Cora was a real cook now. The apron was a little too big, but it would do. Mama helped Cora tie the strings around her back and make a neat bow at her belly button. This apron belonged to Lolo, your grandpa, said Mama. He wore it when he first came to California. He was a cook for the Filipino farm workers who picked strawberries and grapes in the field. And there's Lolo the Grandpa when he was young. Did Lolo teach you how to cook? Cora wanted to know. He did, said Mama. I followed him each day to the big kitchen. He created all kinds of dishes to fill the hungry workers' tummies. While he cooked, he told stories about the Philippines where he was born. Cora nodded as she listened. Lolo told us about the countryside where he grew up. His family harvested pineapples, bananas, and papayas. He used to eat smashed fried bananas and sweet rice wrapped in banana leaves. Can you see that? That's Lolo the Grandpa when he was just a little boy. Cora stuffed her hands deep into her pockets. She imagined Mama as a little girl and Lolo cooking together. She saw Lolo as a boy unwrapping the banana leaves and scooping the sweet rice from inside. Looks like this family really likes to cook together. I love that. Cora knew the rules about Mama's kitchen. She scrubbed her hands with soap. Mama dug in the cupboards and refrigerator for ingredients. She listed what they needed for the pancit. Chicken, celery, carrots, mushrooms, onions, baby corn, cabbage, ginger, garlic, and soy sauce. Don't forget the noodles, said Cora. Oh yes, the noodles, said Mama. Let's get started, Mama told Cora. Open the package of rice noodles and put them in this bowl of water. Do you know why we soak them? So they get soft, said Cora. You've been paying attention, said Mama with a wink. Cora opened the package. She plopped a big clump of noodles into the bowl. Do this. Meanwhile, Mama took out some chicken she had cooked earlier. This was Mama's special stash. She used chicken for all kinds of Filipino dishes, like tanghong, chicken curry, and lumpia. Want me to help shred? Asked Mama. Oh, want to help me shred? Asked Mama. Cora's eyes grew wide. This was a grown-up job. She was ready. She pulled the chicken pieces apart the way her older sister Prim did. She placed them on a plate. Cora snuck a tiny bite of chicken. She rolled it into the back of her mouth before Mama noticed. The salty taste tickled her tongue. Are you getting hungry reading these books, Pam? I'll chop, said Mama. Cora arranged the vegetables in neat rows. Mama chopped the celery stalks, carrots, cabbages, and onions. When Mama started slicing onions, tears ran down Cora's cheeks. She looked up and saw Mama's watery eyes. Onions make us cry, sang Mama. They both laughed. Mama took out her huge pancit pan with the shiny copper outside and big handles. The pan was deep enough to hold all the ingredients. Cora danced on her tiptoes to see the inside. Mama asked Cora to step back while she added some oil and the vegetables to the pan. The pan began to hiss and sizzle. Mama added spices, ginger, garlic, and a splash of soy sauce. Cora loved the smell. I'm trying not to get the shiny on the book. Sorry. There's that picture. That's so much fun. Let's see. Now the fun part, said Mama. Let's add the noodles to the pancit pan. Can I stir? Asked Cora. She knew this was another grown-up job. Yes, but be careful near the burner, called Mama, who pulled out a stool for Cora to stand on. Cora began to stir in a wide circle. She watched the noodles somersault over the carrots and celery. She made the soft onions sway this way and that. The smell of ginger mixing with garlic floated to her nose. A few mushrooms escaped from the pot. Oops. We all spill. It doesn't matter how old we are. That night, Mama brought the food to the table. She set out a platter of adobo chicken, 2 plates of her special lumpia with dipping sauce, and a bowl of pineapple slices. Cora's brother and sisters came to the table one by one. Daddy sat at his usual spot at the head of the table. Do you see Daddy? There's Daddy. And there's the sisters and the brother. And there's little Cora. And Mama with her huge platter of pancit. Cora watched her dad's eyes grow wide as he checked out all the food. He licked his lips. Finally, Mama set the steaming platter of pancit at the middle of the table. You made pancit without us? Hollered Cora's brother, Crispin. Who did my job? Asked Prim. Who checked the noodles? Sarah wanted to know. Mama replied, Cora did all the grown-up jobs. Really? Said Dad. Now that's my girl. Cora scratched together her eyebrows and bit her lip while her family tasted her pancit. Did she do everything right? Would they like it? Would Mama tell about the accident with the noodles? Or the mushrooms? Pretty impressive, smiled Cora's sister Irene. Crispin chomped on a big spoonful of pancit and elbowed Cora. Not too bad, Crispin said. Cora grinned. Her eyes sparkled with delight. Daddy sat back in his chair. This tastes like your Lolos Pancit, he said. Cora beamed with pride. Salamat. Thank you, she cried out. The family laughed. Cora was still wearing Mama's red apron. Now, in the Philippines, there's over 200 dialects and languages that are spoken in different parts of the islands. Tagalog is one of the more common languages, and that's one that we hear in Kodiak, but there are many more. Some words sound similar to Spanish. And here we have Cora, and she's playing with a little purple hippo and a monkey and a whale and her little doggy. And here's a real treasure, the very last page. I'm going to let you see what's on here. Lolo's Pancit recipe. And if you like, you can get an adult to help you make this Lolo's Pants recipe. In fact, I liked this book so much that I was inspired not just to learn a couple of new words, but also to make some pancit. So I've lived here for 20 years and I've never made this. This is my first time, but it looks really delicious and I'm super excited about it. And not just pancit, but in the story it said that there was also pineapple. So I have some grilled pineapple and lumpia. And actually, this looks like lumpia, but it's not. It's actually a banana fritter, but that's also Filipino, and it's a really nice dessert. So when you're an adult, you can have dessert first. It's really cool. So, Salamat, thank you so much for listening to my story time. If you liked this story time, let me know if you are going to try out the recipe and how it is. You can write in the comments or have your parents write in the comments. I'm going to finish chewing. If not, tell me what your favorite food is. And remember that we have lots of books at the library. We have lots of books on how to cook and how to cook just for kids. So call the library and find out what kind of books you can get. And I look forward to our next story time. Thanks so much. Salamat. Bye-bye.